Okay. If you've made it this far, you're actually showing some commitment to expanding your vocabulary, at least when it comes to improvisation on guitar. I mean, I could speak a lot about how literally the entirety of music is based off of how these modes and scales fit together, but this is really meant to be more of just a basic introduction to why or how you can use these modes to easily improvise. So here we are. We're at the Mixolydian. Again, I would strongly suggest you screenshot the graphic I have up here, but let's do a quick recap. So we're A major. Let's make a quick pad while we're here. It's only a couple notes there that make it sound major. Okay, good enough. That should give me enough of a background when I need it. Okay, so quick recap here. We got Ionian. Again, we're in A major. Dorian, which is second position. Phrygian, which is third position. Lydian, which is fourth position. Oops, let me try that again. Which brings us to the mode of the day today, which is Mixolydian. Made our way all the way up to the 12th fret from the 5th. So if you want to play on the 12th fret in A major, you're going to want to explore the Mixolydian scale or mode, which is whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, little half step in there, and then another double whole step. Okay, so at this point, there's a lot of positional information, I guess, I provided. So playing these scales in position allow you to use, my guitar teacher explained it to me that, your playing in position allows you to kind of put your thumb under your middle finger, which puts you in a situation where you're better able to execute the notes you might be wanting to play, which is why playing in position can be really beneficial. Again, that's only alluding to, something that you might draw from learning these modes in position, but really, again, it puts you in a situation where if you're in A and you want to play on the 12th fret just because of the tonality up there, you can now. So there you go. Let's get the background on a little bit. And I'm going to mute the mic and just see if I can do a little jam here. Even when I'm trying to illustrate something, I still zone out and hit wrong notes. But in any case, hopefully you're absorbing some of this stuff. It's legit. It's beneficial. Yes, it will take time. It's not something you can learn every week, and it's part of your vocabulary. I learned these modes in the 80s, literally the 1980s, and I'm still, as you just heard, hitting wrong notes. At best, I worked as a semi-professional. I only got paid for a couple sessions, literally a couple. Worked as an audio engineer. There's no, I'm by no means a higher level performer or musician. I'm more of a performer than a musician. But this stuff still informs everything I do, and it can be real beneficial to you. And again, it can help you make connections between what you already know and actual musical implementation. There's a strange thing with guitar, and I've alluded to it before, and where people seem to think the less they know, the better they are. It's a real backwards way of thinking. The more you know, the better you are. I'm an 80s guy, so I'll quote Yngwie. There's a common kind of thing that you hear people say, or used to hear people say, that less is more. And Yngwie said, no, more is more. And that's absolutely correct. He also said, if it sounds good, it is good. So, there's a lot of stuff that you can still apply outside of the box, so to speak. But you still need to have the box, and that's what this is. This is the box you operate out of, or operate outside of. So hats off to you if you've made it this far in my videos. The next mode is going to be Aeolian, which is the natural minor mode. So things will really start connecting if you've put your time in between the Ionian and the Aeolian modes. This one being the Mixolydian mode, which is just before. So the upper half, remember, all of these modes are connected. So the bottom half of the Mixolydian is the Lydian mode. The top half of the Mixolydian mode is the Aeolian mode, and that's natural minor. So all those minor things you play are in the Aeolian mode, or the natural minor stuff you play is in the Aeolian mode. And that's where we can, well, we're not going to talk about it next week, but that's where relative major and relative minor start coming in, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of, again, there's only a couple modes left, but there's a lot of connections to be made, even beyond my knowledge. So hopefully this is stuff that's making a connection for you, and enjoy, again. So the majority of humans' ability to communicate is nonverbal. Music is unique in that it's an audible way to non-verbally communicate. So think about that for a little bit. You don't communicate. I mean, you could say a picture says 1,000 words, but the great works in literature, you need to be able to read to appreciate. It's a similar thing with music. You can play by ear. You can just, make stuff up and wander aimlessly until you hit the right notes. But if you know the alphabet, if you know how to make words out of the alphabet, if you then know, how to construct sentences, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you can enjoy the process a lot more, or theoretically enjoy the process a lot more. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy the other things. You subscribe to one thing and you close your mind to everything else. So here we are at the Mixolydian mode. I'm starting to get philosophical about it, but there's it's nothing new, by the way. It was like this in the 80s when I started learning. There was just, out of every 10 guitar players, and by the way, guitar players are a dime a dozen. It's still that way, but for every 10 guitar players, there was one who wanted to genuinely learn about music and do it in addition to everything. The other 9 players thought you could choose one or the other, or they subscribed only to their favorite guitar player, and as a result only sounded like their favorite guitar player, never found their own voice. Again, this stuff doesn't make you sound like somebody. This stuff gives you a vocabulary you can build your own words off of, and ultimately make your own music. So here we are. The Mixolydian is kind of a turning point, or at least thinking back, I felt like it was a turning point for me. It's like, all right, I'm definitely working my way into understanding how these notes and scales and modes and ideas lay out on the guitar. It's like an entry point. Once you get to that natural minor, and there's one other mode after that, but once those connections are made, like, a lot of things start happening. So hopefully that same thing happens for you. But yeah, there you go. Sorry, I got my tone rolled off. There you go, Mixolydian.